So I often get asked the question of like, what is the distinction between the Hyeland project and like, this idea of creating a town, creating a city, these more aspirational things that we sometimes hear you talking about. And really, like, they're two separate things, right? The Hyeland project is just trying to act as a filter to bring in Armenians that are looking for the same thing. But once you're here, in addition to like living your life and starting your family, having your family, educating your kids, and all the stuff that comes with life, there are interesting things that we can do as a community, a growing community. And some of them can get really quite innovative and sort of revolutionary, so to speak, if in the sort of network community space. And if this is something you're interested in, I've written a published white paper on a network state architecture this past year, and I'm currently working to create a much shorter 10-page version of that for a general audience. And so keep an eye out for that. And so I'm playing around with this idea of, as part of the HyelandFest, perhaps having a tokenized piece of land, so like a community-owned piece of land on which we have our event, but also where we start designing and potentially even building a Armenian church, out of stone. And it sounds pretty like outrageous and ridiculous, but I think that's sort of what would make for a good event, doing something a little weird and unusual. And I think it'd be pretty fun if we had like a project and we could sort of, start year after year improving the land, making it more enjoyable, and then ultimately at the end of the process, perhaps having a uniquely Armenian church that we built. It's just an idea. I don't know that we would start with that. I don't know if there's enough interest for that. I haven't really, discussed it with many people, but I certainly like the idea. And as far as like finding a really beautiful piece of land and even just putting a deposit down, getting a mortgage on it, it wouldn't be prohibitively expensive. It would be, more or less the same as putting on an event in another way where you're like renting a campground and all the prices associated with that. It's not that different, I would say. So it's something for us to consider. And if you like the idea, if you think it sounds cool, I encourage you to join the newsletter. I'm sure there'll be updates about this idea. And, leave in the comments, what do you think of that? Is it something that would be worthwhile? Is it kind of too radical, not appropriate to start off with? I have no idea. We'll see how it goes. Thank you.